Like, what I don't understand, especially on TikTok this week, is I've seen like tens of thousands of black girls go online and say things, and it's like if you were to simply take out, replace white girl with any other race, everyone would be canceling these girls and it would be extremely racist, which by the way, it is. You're being racist towards white girls, but they'll literally be like, oh God, all these white influencers, they're gross Botox and filler, they're disgusting, they're mediocre, they don't deserve anything they have, like we're all better than them, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, if a, and by the way, no one says anything to them. Everyone's just like, yes, queen, like agreed. But it's so crazy. I'm like, imagine a white girl went on the internet and said that about black influencers. She would have everything taken away from her, and literally probably what I go through with, blank threats. But it's just kind of crazy, the double standard.
Okay, yeah, very annoying. Just the sound of its voice. Now, this colorless woman, I don't know who she is. I just happened to see someone I follow do a video, which it'll be the last video and what I'm going to do about this one. But this is a Trump supporter. Surprise, surprise, surprise. I'm going to do quite a few videos on here because this is the epitome of Trump supporters. She gets on here because she has an aesthetic. She has a good filter. She has some surgery, some lip filler. She probably has some clip-in extensions that are blonde, and she has some no makeup look going on, so she's playing into a certain aesthetic. This was Tommy Lauren not so long ago. She tried to make a comeback. I guess they didn't want her after she turned 30. I guess, So now here's this one, Plain Jane. She's a plain Jane. She basically is using lighting and makeup and everything else to look differently than she actually looks, because if you take away the makeup, you take away the fillers, you take away the hair extensions, and you take away the hair color, yeah, plain. But she is talking about black women and the fact that black women have noticed that black people, and this is a known, have to work 10 times harder to get less half of what they get, right? And I've seen this myself. I was on the colorless side of TikTok, and I was in this space with, if anybody knows about Onision, I think he did the hair videos talking about what black women should do with our hair, how we should wash it and all that, because his well ran dry because he had been on there for a while, and that area of YouTube with him, Leafy, Keemstar, all of that had dried up. Grade A, under A, all that dried up. So he thought he would antagonize us. This is what they do. They can't talk about themselves. They have nothing creative or interesting to offer on the internet. They can't advocate for anything. They have to talk about black people because we set the tone, the culture. We are what's hot. We have been hot forever and will be forevermore. They get their ideas, aesthetics, looks, makeup, all of it from us. They swagger jack and steal from us 24/7. That's why they couldn't even come up with a dance for Meg the Stallion's Thought-ish when black women refused to do anything. They couldn't copycat off of it, right? Now, this one, nothing interesting to say. Boring as all get up. She does not make me want to watch her. There are colorless women who do things on here that are creative. They stay in their lane. And if they're interesting, I will listen. But this one, bird brain. Now, she is mad because she falls into the realm of influencers. I don't know if she's an influencer. I don't know her like that. But she may be an influencer that is mediocre. She's mediocre. There's nothing interesting about her videos like that. Even the way she words what she's saying in the videos, it's like, oh my God, you need a dunce hat on. And she's mad because black women are bringing this up, are talking about it, we're noticing it. That you can do absolutely nothing, not be creative, not be interesting, but you get all this praise for nothing. And the reason why you have so many men, like there's this, I'll take a snippet of the comment. Let me do that now. Okay, so I took a snippet of this comment where this man is saying, I'm seeing this too. I'm glad you're calling it out. This is a whole grown man with gray hair, Jason Little 273. Yeah, I said your username. And people are underneath there clowning him, talking about, where are you seeing black girls who are spewing hate towards colorless influencers? You're mad because they're calling you mediocre. If that's what it is, I call Taylor Swift mediocre. A lot of colorless people love her. There's even some of black people who like her. She's mediocre to me. I don't listen to her music at all. I don't listen to her. So, I mean, you're mad because they have an opinion on some content you put out when you put it out there to the public. And you're mad because it wasn't praise and applause. Really? And it is. We already know the system. We know how the system is set up. I mean, mediocrity everywhere. We just saw it at the Olympics. The breakdancing, come on. I'm sorry. I'm going to get the video and I'm putting it out there because the mediocreness of it all was brought to the Olympics. So there's no trying to deny that you float by on your colorlessness. It's getting less and less every year, but yeah, that's what's happening. If you have no skill, you have no education, you can't do it, you get replaced. But yeah, in social media land, it's real bad here. It's real bad. They can be doing nothing but standing there looking and saying stupid stuff or anything, and you just have people, I don't know what they see or what's playing in their mind that they think it's interesting or funny, but I'm sorry, she's just mad because the truth was told and she falls within the realm of that truth. And the guy who was agreeing with her in the comment section, he's just agreeing because he thinks she's pretty and the tip of his peen tingles. That's about it. Black influencers don't say stuff like the words that she said. She's saying that it can be dry, the content is not creative, the editing may not be creative, but they get a leg up off of their colorlessness, which is true. There's no arguing that.
You know what's interesting to me is deep down, I think everybody's a little racist. I think everyone has racist thoughts. I think they say racist things. I think obviously there's some that are way more racist than others, but in general, it's kind of a normal thing. I mean, I've worked in kitchens with Mexican guys. I've been in nail salons with Asian ladies where I've heard them say crazy things. I've seen obviously a lot of hatred and very racist things and hate crimes towards white people, and I've seen racism against black people, of course. But the interesting thing is the only people I see being called racist and canceled and burned at the stake constantly is white people. I can't think of one scenario where I've seen someone of any other race be scrutinized and held to this standard. And I'm like, but it's not just white people that are racist, but why do we take all the blame?
Oh my God, it's such a hot take. But yeah, this video right here, like I said, Bird Brain, that's what I'm gonna start that's her new name, Bird Brain. She said in the last video that black women were being racist towards colorless women who were influencers but mediocre. Now she's on here saying everyone is a little bit racist. And why are only colorless people being burned at the stake for it? Again, there was a colorless woman who left a comment in here who says that a person of non-white origin can be prejudiced and bigoted. Yes, we can have preconceived notions of you, usually off of history, to label you a certain way. We can think of you a certain way because of the color of your skin and the history behind all of that, yes, but we cannot be racist because racism works hand in hand with power. I can say that I do not like fake blonde, possibly blue contact wearing colorless women, and I will never be friends with you. You're ugly. You smell like wet dog. All of that, right? I can say all of that and say within my power, I'm going to take you down and I want to see you low, right, to the ground. What power do I have to take away things from you to harm you? Absolutely none. Okay, I am not a landlord. I do not own a building or a home where you rent or you want to buy from me, where I can deny you. I am not an owner of a bank where I can deny you a loan. I am not someone who controls the food where I can take grocery stores or places from your neighborhood with good fresh produce and what you need, what your body needs. I cannot create a law specifically for fake blonde, colorless women with blue contacts and lip fillers to, be jailed for, jaywalking or something. I can't do that. It involves power. You have to have a power structure system set up in a certain way so you get the benefits, right? And you can affect other people. So I don't understand what they don't get about that, because name calling is not racism. Name calling is name calling. But I'm sorry, you can listen to all these people who agree with you, who may be melanated and say, yes, black people can be, but no, this superiority has to be enforced. How in the world are black people going to enforce their superiority over you by negatively affecting your life? What job are they going to take away from you? How are they going to stop you from making money? Cops that gun down innocent black people or people who run away and they shoot them in the back, they can't even use our black racism to affect the police officer's life. Where is it? And it's crazy when other colorless people like you are telling you that your white fragility is showing and you have no understanding, knowledge, or education behind something, you should be embarrassed. It just shows you that because they have never experienced racism, that's why they don't know what it is and they can't properly identify it, and that because they've never experienced it, so they can't label it correctly. And on this video, we have Jason Little 273 again, and he said spot on. So he is in the comment section heavy being a simp.
You're a feminist doing that's empowering, yet you're relying on creepy, disgusting men who think you are disgusting and trash to ironically pay your bills, which is probably the most degrading thing in the entire world. Whereas actually, if you were in an office, it would be a lot less degrading. You could actually have respect in an office. And do not get offended when you come into the dating pool and dating world and you are seen as a low value woman. In my eyes, you are. In every man's eyes, you are. And don't get offended when people don't want to marry you, don't want you to be their girlfriend. You're going to hit the real world eventually. It's just a matter of time. And no one with any level of like a brain would ever respect someone who does that.
There's a lot to unpack there.
I don't go on the internet and expect people not to judge me. You cannot be a sex worker and expect people not to judge you.
I agree with that.
So just don't complain about the outcome. Go get your bag.
Yes.
And then deal with no one thinking that you're a valuable human, and also bringing just shame to your family name as well.
Okay, so basically she is sitting up here saying feminists are doing OnlyFans. I don't know how you get that the women who are in sex work are feminist or any of that, but what this does is glosses over sex workers and their experience. There have always been sex workers, even during biblical times there were sex workers. I don't know what the issue is with sex workers, because the profession would not have been since BC and still today AD if men weren't out here looking for it. You always want to talk about the sex worker, the woman who's providing the service, but you never want to talk about those who are demanding said service. Are they not disgusting? Are they not putrid? Are they not marriage material because they're out here seeking women to pay them to provide this service for them? That's crazy to me. How do you give the patriarchy a pass on the ones who are out here seeking sex work, but you're mad at a woman in a capitalistic system that has to survive with making money for capitalizing on a service that is being demanded? I mean, I'm so confused. So if you want to hold the women accountable, why are you not holding the Johns accountable? They just get to skate by. As if you if there were no women out here on the streets, the men would if there were no men out here offering money in a capitalistic system, there would be nothing to service. Yeah, because you know somebody is a sex worker, you're judging them. But some of y'all been out here doing the same thing and committing the same acts for free. You mad at her because she's getting paid for it. You were doing it for free because you wanted to have fun. Are you serious? I know she's not a virgin. She's not. So I can only imagine what she was doing with a boyfriend, giving husband privileges to boyfriends. And then you have all these dusty peen men in here. Yeah, she's keeping it real. Yeah, she's right. No, and more than half of them, 2/3 of them in the comment, it will solicit and try and keep it a secret. But to devalue the life of some of these women and some of the women on the streets who had, when they were children, you're talking about, see, this is why those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones, because she's coming from it from her point of view, her little valley girl, ignorant ass point of view. When some of these people out there on the streets who are doing this, they are being human trafficked. They are being exploited. They are being sex trafficked. And not only that, you weren't there in her room when her uncle, who went to church every Sunday, was in there touching her. You were not there when her father was touching her. You weren't there when she was being touched by a family member or a good friend of the family, a coach or someone in the neighborhood. But now that she's just out there in providing sex work, now you want to look down on her. Be careful what you do. Be very careful. But it's bird brains like this that really, really irritate me. You are coming at this from a dumb male centered perspective, where you are trying to get them to come to support you in your social media by saying these talking points that I have heard over the years, from the He-Man Haters Club to SYSBM to MGTOW to the Passport Bros, the Manosphere, and it keeps repeating over and over and over the same thing. And it's getting lame. And these simps who sit here and listen to this and consume this I know what you look like behind the scenes. You're very awkward. You can't come up and be normal and talk to a woman. So a woman is not going to give you the time of day, or she probably don't even notice you. And you're mad at her. You're mad at all women. And you look at this woman who you wish you could get next to, and you're praising her like a simp. They are in here simping away. Now, I was looking for the commenter that's usually first in the comments. I don't see him in this one. I guess he was busy that day.
I love like the social gaslighting of like, I'm sorry, how long have they been saying that Lizzo is the most empowering, beautiful woman that's ever walked the planet? And now if you call someone Lizzo, it's like a hate crime. It's like, okay, so you guys were lying like you always do.
So there were people in the comment section who were picking up on the BS that she was talking about. Why is Lizzo always on the lips of certain people, especially colorless women, who think that they're prettier and better than her, even though she's an accomplished singer, millionaire, she's an accomplished flutist, she has so many talents and skills beyond what they could ever dream of, but they have the audacity to sit up here and think because of their body size that they're better. Crazy. This is crazy work. Now, she's rolling her eyes and being sarcastic as to dismiss Lizzo. And there was a comment saying that people were making monkey sounds and calling plus size black women Lizzo and all this stuff, right? I would not be offended by anyone calling me any celebrity with that type of skill, because I would rather be compared to someone who actually has talent and skill and is smart and wealthy than to identify with a bird brain, dumb, mediocre, no vice, wannabe influencer, just off top. And for all that said, a lot of these women who think they're the beauty standard, they're sitting up here crying about how they can't date and everything else. Like, they're not getting married, they can't date. But I see so many of these plus size women that they're better than, who are married, have husbands, going on vacation, thriving, living life, while they're sitting up here miserable, voting for Trump.
I don't hang out with anyone really less attractive than me. There's too much drama. But they all agree.
What would the drama be before you go to the next part?
It's just like all the girls I've ever been friends with that are less attractive than me. It's always a jealousy thing. It's an attention thing. They're really shady. I mean, they'll try to like sleep with your boyfriend. It's just the worst. You just need to be with equals. But I like all my girlfriends are way hotter than me. They're stunning.
Mm-hmm.
I love being around beautiful women. I think when you're a beautiful woman, you have value just by being beautiful. I love being around pretty things, pretty people, pretty places. I don't know. A lot of maybe other people see that differently. I love it.
And I wanted to leave her channel on this video because this was hilarious. I mean, she literally just shat on herself, to be honest. Now, she says that she doesn't hang out with anyone who is not as pretty as her, because anyone who's not pretty as her from her perspective are jealous and mean-spirited, and they'll try and sleep with your boyfriend, right? That's what she said. Now, because I know people make stuff up in their head, and they can make up whole stories about you and don't even know you. You could be new to the company. You could be just introducing yourself, and they already don't like you because it's a Tuesday and it's partially sunny outside. So it could be that her perception is that. But what's really going on is the lady is sensing your bitchy attitude, your nastiness, your aura, your energy, and it's hitting her the wrong way. And she can smell the shallowness on you. And that's why she makes a face of disdain or dislike, because you're a bitch. That could be it. And she's not flirting, trying to get with because if your boyfriend is so into you and you're so pretty, you're much more prettier than her, how would she even have a chance at getting your boyfriend? Doesn't make sense. But okay, she's trying to get your boyfriend. What if she's getting to know you and you have that bitchy attitude, and then she just happens to meet him and she's a nice person and she's smiling, shaking hands, introducing herself, and just talking to someone, and you're taking it as flirting and trying to get your boyfriend? You sound insecure. Come on now, you're supposed to be so beautiful, so wouldn't the man prefer your beauty over the ugly woman that you're hanging out with? There's no way that she's going to get in bed with your boyfriend, because you pick well, right? You're so feminine and soft and beautiful. Crazy. And she said that this was a cherry on top. She said all her friends are much more attractive than her. Came out of her mouth. So, her much more attractive friends, she's the ugly one out of the group. She's less attractive. Should they be worried about her trying to sleep with their man? Should they be worried about her and her intentions, and that she may turn on them because she's less attractive than them in the group? maybe she's telling on herself and not telling about something she actually experienced, but hey, this came out of her mouth. And you keep seeing this theme of, oh my God, you're so pretty. All that, like I said, take away the makeup, take away the hair extensions and color. She's basic at best. But it's so true when people say if somebody is attractive, they could get away with murder, because you see the whole Wade Wilson. Now they're doing this with Bird Brain. No matter if you're stupid, no matter if you will take somebody's life and you're psychotic, it doesn't matter. Oh, you're attractive, I give you a pass, even though you'd hurt me if you were in proximity to me, even though I have nothing meaningful to say and I'm an idiot. They just give them a pass. Oh my God, the shallowness. Men try and talk about women. They're the one who can't control the tip of their peen from directing them into a bad situation. I mean, as long as you're pretty, you can take their money. As long as you're pretty and saying what they want, you can just do them in. And I know these women do them in because they're such a simple Simon. All you have to do is pretend like you're agreeable, and you've got the bag. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna leave it off with this because it's hilarious and I love her and her takes. See you in the next one.
I've seen like tens of thousands of black girls go online and say things, and it's like if you were to simply replace white girl with any other race, everyone would be canceling these girls and it would be extremely racist. Which, by the way, it is. They're being racist towards white girls. But they'll literally be like, oh God, all these white influencers, they're gross Botox and filler, they're disgusting, they're mediocre, they don't deserve anything they have. Like, we're all better.
Emily, girl. It truly baffles me how little white women actually know about racism. Like, girl, what are you talking about? Y'all want to be oppressed so bad, and that shit can't. Racism is not fun. Like, why do y'all want to be oppressed so bad? Y'all are so fucking delusional. Emily, I'm gonna hold your hand with a napkin in between when I say this. You saying that you have experienced racism does not make it true, right? Just because somebody says something doesn't make it true. J-Lo has been saying for years that she can sing, and we all know that she is a fucking liar. Racism. Actual real racism is the systematic oppression of minorities. It is built into our society. It keeps minorities out of certain homes, out of certain jobs. It keeps the majority in power. Someone getting online to say that your Botox is trash, or that you're mediocre, or that your lip filler is migrating, or that your roots are showing, or anything of the sort, that is not racism. And the fact that you think it is fucking comical. Now, maybe those comments hurt your feelings and you're entitled to feel how you feel, but hurt feelings does not, and will never equal actual racism. Put down the phone and pick up a book. The ignorance is so loud and honestly a little embarrassing. Hope this helps. Peace and love. Talk to you later.